Week 4 of the NFL season is underway. We're here to recap week 3 and get our week 4 predictions in. It's the AWR Recording Podcast. It's the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton. Now I'm 007 Gage Sutton. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We appreciate y'all. NFL football has been a lot of fun so far. We got some big upsets in week 3 to talk about and some big predictions to make in week 4. So before we get into it, make sure you guys are subscribing and following our socials. We're going to link those below in the description. And Ethan, without any further ado, man, let's get right into our week 3 recap of the NFL season. How did you feel about week 3 as a whole? And how do you feel about the NFL season? Do you think so far everything has kind of been like up to par to what you were expecting?
I mean, honestly, we've had a lot of upsets, especially in week 3. So I think the NFL season so far is kind of shaking out. We're starting to see who's really starting to fit that contender build off of last season, which teams are starting to fall back, and obviously which teams probably didn't have a good enough offseason that we thought. And so I'm really excited to break down week 3 and what games you watch.
Hell yeah, me too. There are obviously a lot of teams that are disappointing and a lot of teams that are surprising. So we'll get right into it. Week 3, I have a game that I want to talk about and a team that, for me, disappointed. I want to talk about the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons game this week, where if you watch this game, you weren't missing much if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan. They got blown the fuck out. 30-0 win for the Panthers at home. And this is crazy because I think all of us last week picked the Falcons to win. I think single-handedly, like very easily. We were all like, oh yeah, Atlanta should easily win this game. They're coming off a great win week 2. All of us are very optimistic about Michael Penix and what the offense was looking like. And then they come into week 3 and put up this stinker. I mean, just a horrible game from Penix, 2 interceptions, and just a horrible, horrible game. Rushing too, because Bijan had 13 carries for 72 yards. They couldn't get anything going. Defensively, they let the Panthers have whatever they wanted. It's really bad for Atlanta. And I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that it's a division game, but you got to keep it at least close, score a touchdown. You can't get blown out by the Panthers, who, after the first 2 weeks, we thought they were lifeless, man. They looked like not a real team. So if I'm a Falcons fan, I'm starting to panic just a little because a 30-point loss to the Panthers is very, very concerning.
As it should be. To get 30-0'd by this Carolina Panthers is bad. But we got to give credit where credit is due. Bryce Young balled the fuck out.
Yep.
Ted McMillan, it looks like the stud number 1 wide receiver through 3 weeks that Bryce Young has desperately been needing. And he looks like already a really good draft pick choice by the Panthers. And even the defense. We've talked about how the defense, especially the defensive line, is going to be a weak point for the Carolina Panthers this year. And through the first 2 weeks, it has been. But this game, for them to be able to shut out that Atlanta Falcon offense, who a lot of people thought was going to put up numbers on them, hey, man, shout out to them. Derek Brown, J.C. Horn, and them boys, they did what needed to be done.
Yeah, the Panthers, I mean, I'm still not super optimistic about their season, but I like that they were able to win a divisional game against a team that I, coming into the season, had a lot of high hopes for. I thought they were going to be one of the more impressive teams in this conference. But so far, the Falcons are sitting at 1-2, and they might need a little more time to cook if you were buying into hype. But let's talk about your week 3 game of the week. What game do you want to recap and talk about?
For me, it's got to be the heavyweight fight between the Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles. I think easily one of the games of the week.
Good choice.
And I thought it was a great game. I think starting off early, the Rams really, really answered the call defensively, shutting down Jalen Hurts on that offense and anything they wanted to do. Even the way they opened up the second half with a Kyron Williams touchdown. At that point, you're thinking, wow, the Rams really came into Philadelphia and they're about to win this game. And with luck have it, the Eagles came back in really, really impressive fashion, ended the game on a walk-off blocked field goal, which in reality, the Rams should have won. The Rams really should have won it at a lot of spots, and I look at this game a lot to do with a Rams choke job. Being up 26-7, no, the game's not over, but the way you were able to control that, and you were able to move the ball at will, you're able to slow down the Philly offense. Like, it just completely went away after that. Completely. And then for you to drive down the field with 1:48 left, just to have that 60-yard field goal block. Now, there's no guarantee that 60-yard field goal would have gone in. But just the fact that you're in that situation separates the Rams and the Eagles right now. Because you look at it, the same thing happened in the playoffs, marching down the field. And that pass rush with Jalen Carter was able to get after Matthew Stafford to end the game and him not be able to give a good ball to Puka Nacua. And you saw a similar thing happen this year. The turnovers from Matthew Stafford, I get it. It's just one interception. But Jalen Hurts didn't have any turnovers. And he had 3 passing touchdowns. Hurts was good in that second half. He was really, really good in the second half, considering how piss poor him and that offense were in the first half. And the Eagles sitting at 3-0 and the Rams sitting at 2-1. And if you're a Rams fan, you got to be pissed because you're like, bro, I feel that we're so much better than the Eagles, but we just could not close the deal today. If I'm the Rams, there's a lot of stuff you have to look forward to cleaning up. And if I'm the Eagles, it's like, oof, that's 3 weeks in a row where we could have got caught out, and we haven't. And I'm proud of my team for being resilient. But at the same time, there's only so many of those you're going to be able to get away with over the course of an NFL season.
Yeah, I mean, especially against good teams like the Rams, because like you said, they had them against the ropes. And prior to the fourth quarter of that game, the Eagles' offense had not looked very good. It hadn't looked consistent at all. So
they couldn't move the ball at all, Gage. They couldn't move the ball at all. Like, they had that touchdown, but when Kyle Williams scores to start the second half as quickly as they did, you're like, oh, okay, the game's over. 26-7, the way the Rams are moving. They might score one more touchdown. I don't think the Eagles will be able to move the ball that much. And the defense absolutely collapsed for the Rams.
Yeah. Well, I think I came away with like 3 different takeaways from this game. And one of them was Jordan Davis is awesome and very fast. The fact that he returned that kick for a touchdown, he really didn't need to, but
at all.
Yeah, so I'm sorry if you bet the money line on that game, because that must have been fucking brutal. I think the line was set at like +3, so that touchdown completely fucked you if you bet on the Rams. And then the other things I noticed too is, for all the criticisms that people have for Jalen Hurts in clutch time, when it matters, has been very, very good. And that is one of the things that always has to come to the conversation for him, because when it mattered, Jalen was there to make the plays, which leads me to my last point. And this is my one worry about the Rams, because I think when we filmed our beginning of the season preview, I said, obviously, the Eagles are the favorite in this conference. I said the Rams were going to be the sneaky team to give Philly problems. And I still believe that. We saw that in this game, that LA has all of the components necessary. But the one thing that scares me is at the end of that game, you saw the Rams corners getting bullied by AJ Brown and the Phillies wide receivers. Physically, they don't match up. AJ Brown is just so big, so strong. You don't have anyone on that Rams defense who can guard him, and that could end up being the difference. So if I'm the Rams, I keep an eye on what the cornerback situation looks like throughout the rest of the season and see how they play against these bigger, stronger wide receivers like an AJ Brown, because that could be a determining factor when these two teams maybe see each other in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Let's jump real quick, do some quick hits about other games in week 3. Really quick, I want to talk about the Houston Texans grand opening, grand closing. Your season is now over. Going 0-3 to start the season, and you very easily could have went 3-0. I know a lot of Texas fans want to look at the glass as half full. I'm going to look at it half empty. That offense is not good. We saw that their plan this year in trading Laramie Tunsil and kind of rebuilding that offensive line, it's failed miserably. That offensive line is bad. They don't really have a run game, and it's putting a lot of pressure on CJ Stroud, and it's maybe proving that a lot of fans overreacted in his rookie year. He had a great rookie year, but they were putting CJ Stroud in combos that he was not meant to be put in yet. And that's my whole thing with rookie quarterbacks is any rookie quarterback can have a great, we don't know how many rookie quarterbacks have a great season. But the true testament to see if you're an elite quarterback is after the NFL has film on you and they know what you play like, can you build that? Can you adjust? And CJ and the Texans have yet to adjust from his rookie year, plain and simple.
Yeah.
He's still a solid young quarterback. Nico Collins is still one of the better wide receivers in the NFL, but that O-line is trash. The defense is elite, though. Don't get it twisted. They have probably a top 5 defense in football. But when you're not able to move and score the ball at all, and they have a top 3 scoring defense, top 4 scoring defense, and you're still 0-3, it's not good. And now, do I think there's a chance they still make the playoffs? Absolutely. Because their division is not the greatest. But the way the Colts are moving, hold on, the way the Colts are moving, they got a 3-game head start on them. Who knows? Because Daniel Jones is playing like the best quarterback in the division.
Indiana Jones, man.
By far. I know you've been talking shit about Daniel Jones. I know. Me too. He by far looks like the best quarterback in that division.
Yeah.
By far. Jacksonville's still solid. And we're not going to talk about Tennessee, but you get the point. Like, the division isn't great. But if the Colts keep moving like how they're moving, and the Jags are somewhat competent, this season's probably over.
Yeah.
For the Texans.
I think the Texans are very, they're in a bad position right now to win the division, in a very tough position. They would need everything right. But I think there's still a chance for them to make the wild card. I think they did it a couple years ago, starting 0-3. But yeah, like you said, bro, the O-line and just the offense in general just looks so rough right now, so lifeless. And I really don't have a lot of hope for the Texans this season. I think it's back to the drawing board. Try to get CJ some offensive line help next year. Get a running back, because I think that's something that they're missing, is an explosive player in the run game.
I think so too.
So yeah, go get a stud. Go get someone in the draft, and Omarion Hampton. Go get your Ashton Genty, who the Raiders aren't using, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, Texans, they'll figure it out. I want to talk about, we're talking about CJ and all of the, the intricacies of what makes playing quarterback in the NFL so difficult. But I think the thing that you nailed was being able to play after people have gotten film on you. And one guy that I just really want to credit, and I think he right now is the early favorite for me as the MVP candidate, besides, obviously Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield. Baker for the Tampa Bay Bucks are 3-0, and he's led game-winning drives in all 3 of those games so far. He's been cooking. And obviously, you love the way that he plays. If you don't like Baker Mayfield and the way he plays, you just probably don't like football, because he's just fun to watch. He's always putting his head down, making a play, and we're seeing it in full display right now, man.
Especially
I love
with Mike Evans being out at certain points. Like, Luka is a stud. We talked about this pod knows how I feel about Mecca and Ohio State wide receivers. What's understood don't got to be said. But the fact that the Baker and this offense has been doing this with Mike Evans missing a little bit of chunk of the first 3 games.
No Tristan Wirfs, no Chris Godwin.
We looked at that pick like, oh, maybe you don't need another wide receiver. But looks like they got their wide receiver in the future in Emeka Egbuka to take up after Mike Evans is done.
And bro, they're still waiting on Jalen McMillan too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, Baker has really improved. And then last game I really, really want to touch on quick is we could talk. There's a whole bunch of games we could touch on. Gage, I'm going to give you both these NFC North winners. You pick one. I'll let you pick it. You want to talk about the Bears? Or you want to talk about the Lions?
Let's talk about. I think I'm more impressed. Let's talk about the Cowboys one.
Okay, we can talk about the Cowboys game. The Bears kind of blew the Cowboys' doors off early, and no matter how much Dak tried to play hero ball, and he succeeded in a lot of ways, he just couldn't. CeeDee with a terrible, terrible high ankle sprain that it just wasn't necessary. You didn't need to run the ball, because Javonte Williams, I was watching the game, he was running all over the Bears, 7.5 yards a carry on every single rush that he had. And for them to want to run CeeDee Lamb in the backfield when you have a running back doing that, hey, man, it doesn't make any sense to me. And he got hurt, and he's probably out for the next 4 or 5 weeks for the Cowboys, which is a big blow for them because they needed a win like this, and they're going to play Green Bay, which we're going to talk about later. Defensively too, Trayvon Diggs, you're a good guy. You're a good soldier. I think it might be time to hang it up. He got stir-fried by Rome Odunze, by DJ Moore, by them boys this weekend. That secondary was bad. The pass rush was non-existent whatsoever. They could stop the run, though, because I guess that's what Jerry cared about. But I shouted. It was also, fun fact, Cox sources, but I'm like 95% sure this is the first game in Caleb Williams' career where he was not sacked ever. And for that, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm furious because that was a win that the Cowboys needed to get, and they just didn't. But I mean, shout out to the Bears back against the wall. They were in danger of starting 0-3 to start the year, but cleaned them up.
Yeah, the Bears got a much needed win, and this is the first time that I've seen life in this offense like that. We saw the Ben Johnson offense at full effect with all of the fun trick plays and Caleb throwing dimes to Luther Burden, Romo Dunze. I mean, this was a different version of the Bears offense that personally I didn't like to see as a Packers fan, especially because I was rooting for the Cowboys, which if you're a listener to the pod, you know how much I hate the Cowboys. I don't root for them. But against the Bears, they couldn't get the job done, man. And that's all I needed. So I'm a little disappointed, but that's okay because I get my comeuppance when the Packers get to, beat the hell out of the Cowboys on Sunday night. But we'll get to our predictions. I'm sure you know where I'm leaning, E. But
yeah, no, let's that's going to be our week 3 recap. Make sure to like and subscribe the video if you're still watching, and let us know how we've done so far as to start the year. We're about to do our NFL picks. So Gage, hit him with it. What is your record from week 3?
All right, man. My week 3 record is 10-6.
10-6. Okay.
Yeah, I went 10-6. Now my total record on the season is 36-12.
Okay, bet you got a nice little lead up on me. 7-game lead up on me. It's cute.
We're getting there.
There's a lot of upsets this week too. So honestly, I went 9-7. So now my record's 29-19. But I thought it would have been a lot worse.
Yeah, because there were a few that like we obviously both missed on. Both of us picking Green Bay over Cleveland.
Picking Dallas over the Bears.
Yep. Picking Baltimore over Detroit.
Raiders over the Commanders, unless you picked the Commanders, and I'm tripping.
I did pick the Commanders in that one.
So. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But hey, it's competitive, man. We like it. Only 7 games down. I'm in the lead right now, so hopefully we keep it that way, and we see your boy 007 get a win this season. But all right, guys, we can now move on to the week 4 predictions, and we're filming this after Thursday Night Football, and we're staying true to our picks. No shenanigans. I make my picks before the season or before the week starts. And I picked the Cardinals to beat the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football.
I had the Seahawks winning away from home, and obviously for those who watched last night, that's kind of what happened. A little bit of a late game drama towards the end where the Cardinals kind of closed the gap and forced Seattle to make one last drive. But I thought it was a solid game nonetheless. I guess we can start from the Cardinals' perspective. I feel bad for Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know what's with him. He had a solid rookie year. I know he didn't light the world on fire like maybe a Malik Neighbors did, but he had a solid rookie year. But to start this season, the drops issues that he had, and then he had another drop into an interception. Really 2. The first one, he gave up on the crossing route because he thought Kyler was going to start running. Ended up sailing the ball right over his head straight into a Seattle defender. And then the second interception, where he's sitting there on a slant route, bobbling it straight into the Seahawks player's hands. And at that point, you're just like, damn, Marv. Like, you can tell it's a mental thing. You can absolutely tell it's a mental thing. You could feel for him. And I was very happy that he caught that touchdown pass because he seemed very relieved, like, fuck, finally, something's going my way. It's just a little unfortunate that he lost the football game, you know?
Yeah, and it's so weird because you see it on the field the way he's playing right now. He lost a little bit of mojo. Obviously, dude, we're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr., the guy who was highly considered the best wide receiver prospect in his draft class and in years. So, um, yeah, it is weird seeing him miss on those easy ones, and hopefully he can just clean it up throughout the season because the looks are there. Like there are definitely opportunities for him and Kyler to make plays, but um, it's ultimately up to him to finish the place and catch the ball.
Absolutely.
And
And even to speak a little bit about Kyler too, like we're at year 7 with Kyler. Like Kyler's a vet, and it seems like just yesterday they had that crazy start to the season, where they started 10-0, 9-0, ended up losing into Rams in the first round, and you're thinking, damn, the Cardinals got a really promising future, and you're blinking, we're here. And honestly, I'm kind of to the point with Kyler. Like I think Kyler's a very like average quarterback that can do some magic with his feet. But that's kind of where it ends. He leaves a lot to be desired on the football field when it comes to passing. If I'm the Cardinals, I don't know how many more years you give this. I guess it's early in the season. Maybe it is a overstatement, but year 7 of Kyler, and we're still having these questions.
yeah, it's definitely interesting to think about because I've thought about what the future for Kyler looks like in Arizona because if they don't do anything significant this season, make a playoff run or end with a positive record, um, I think you do really need to start looking at some change because I think it's 3 straight losing seasons for the Cardinals if that's not the
Yeah,
case.
and I don't get me wrong, their roster's not that great, and James Conner's out for the year. But like you start to think like
At
use
some
this
point,
tech
Kyler has to elevate the team.
to a certain extent, for sure, for sure. And it's like I get you're building the team up again, but you went and got him Marvin Harrison Jr. You went and got the defense, a guy like Will Johnson, who's going to be who's already a stud. Who you got your star cornerback on the outside. It's like, all right,
Paris
if after this year,
yeah.
Bears can't. If after this year and if after next year, they're still not able to push for that division and make the playoffs, at what point are you like, maybe we just need to blow this stuff over again? But I mean, that's enough about the Cardinals. They did lose. We got to give credit where credit goes to the Seahawks. I know Ian's was happy. He sent me a long paragraph of how excited he was. Sam Darnold was hooping last night, played a really, really good game. Same thing with Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. They were both splitting carries, doing what needed to be done against that Cardinals defense. And now they're sitting at what, 2-1?
Yeah. And shout out Jackson Smith the Jigba on my fantasy team. He's been
Yeah, I
cooking.
got him too.
Hey, I love it. So yeah, that's Thursday Night Football. I love that we're getting all these divisional games early in the season because even though the Seahawks pretty much had this locked up from the beginning, the Cardinals made it interesting at the end. So
For sure. For sure. Well, let's jump to our week 4 games and start taking notes of our predictions. Gage, let's start this off with our Sunday early morning game in Ireland. We got the Vikings and the Steelers. Technically, the Steelers are the home team, but it is in Ireland, so it's not going to be quite the same home field advantage. Who do you got?
ooh, this is interesting because Pittsburgh has a big following in Ireland. They're like considered the home team, like you said. Minnesota's coming into this game with Carson Wentz, but they looked really good last week.
And Minnesota always wins internationally. They
See, I was
always.
gonna say, and Aaron Rodgers in his last 2 international games got stomped. So I think I'm gonna go Minnesota. I'm taking the Vikings here.
I'm going to be with you. I think Carson Wentz was balling last week against the Bengals, even though it was the Jake Browning Bengals, but at the same time, it was the Carson Wentz Vikings. And so I think they're going to keep their international streak going. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, this just feels like a game Pittsburgh loses too. This feels like a game Aaron Rodgers loses. I don't know why, but okay. What's the next game?
Next game, we got the start of our 12 o'clock games. We're going to have the Washington Commanders at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm trying to figure out real quick, is Jaden Daniels going to be playing this week? I don't think he is.
I think they said him and Terry weren't practicing, so Yeah, that might be tough. Let's see. Look at Jaden Daniels. Let's see.
Because the Falcons did rule out AJ Terrell for another week. So at the same time, if Jaden Daniels is still dealing with that knee injury, and Terry McLaurin is still having that
Yeah,
quad
Jaden
injury,
Daniels is out. Is indeed out.
I think this week you're playing in Atlanta. Atlanta's defense is really, really good. I think the offense is going to have to move the chains and back against the wall. I'm going to go with the Falcons this week.
After what I saw from the Falcons last week, I'm not buying it. I think Washington has looked a lot better. I know you're a Washington hater.
For sure.
Marcus Mariota, he looks solid. And I think Atlanta's defense got a little overhyped. I'm taking Washington this week.
Fair enough. Next 12 o'clock game, we are going to have the Chargers at the Giants. It's going to be the Jackson Dart show, his first career start. Russell Wilson got benched, I think, earlier than expected. I thought they would at least give him a few more weeks. But we got our Jackson Dart starting. I am going to go Chargers. I think going against this defense for the Chargers are 3-0. It's going to be a tough test. I think he's going to be able to extend plays in ways that Russ isn't at this point in his career. But I think he's going to struggle a lot completing the ball. But they are playing at home. Cam Scatterbo looks like he's going to take over that RB1 position. But I think it's going to be too much for the Giants. Give me the Chargers.
I think this is my upset of the week, man. I'm going Jackson Dart. I'm taking his first start to be a win in New York. The Giants fans are dying to see him play. Just something change. I think they'll go in with some momentum. I see the Giants taking this one.
Bet that. That's a bold pick right there. Hopefully that benefits me. Next 12 o'clock game, we got an NFC South showdown. We got the Titans facing the Texans in Houston. I love Cam Ward, what I've been seeing for him, but he is with one of the worst coaching staffs, I think, in the league. And I don't think it's going to help against this D'Amico Ryans led defense. I think the Texans get their first win of the season.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I'm taking Houston.
But next up, we got a big game. We got Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both teams are 3-0. The last time that the Eagles lost to the playoffs was against the Baker Mayfield-led Buccaneers. And I want it to happen, but I got burnt by the Rams last week. I think the Eagles win. I think defensively it's going to be really, really hard for the Bucs to slow down that offense. I think they're going to realize, the Eagles are starting to realize you're going to have to feed A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith eventually and let them start making plays. Give me the Eagles.
See, the Eagles have been my pick. Like I don't pick against the Eagles because they've been so good. And
you be riding the Eagles.
I have been riding the Eagles, and there's like nothing that says I shouldn't. But I was talking about Baker earlier. I really like the way they've been playing in Tampa. But without Mike Evans, fuck it. They are getting Tristan Wirfs back. I'll take Tampa Bay. Let's do it.
Okay. That's going to be a good game. That's probably the best game in the 12 o'clock window.
I agree. Definitely at the 12 o'clock window. I don't know if it's the best game of the week, but
I think it probably is going to end up being. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Well, that's the game we got. Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers in New England, which I think is going to be a little bit two teams both at 1-2. Both of these teams are going to need this win. And whoever, like I said, these two teams aren't great. They're kind of below average, one of the worst teams in the league, which could provide some fireworks. I'm going to go the Patriots at home, though. I think last week was a really good game for the Panthers, being able to go Ted McMillan and the boys get to go in, but they're playing away in New England. I just don't see it happening. Let me go now.
Yeah. I don't either. I'm taking New England here. Even though they had a very, very tough showing last week, 5 turnovers.
Yes.
I think Vrabel's going to just drill it into them this week, take care of the football, and they'll take care of business at home against Carolina.
All right, next up we got the New Orleans Saints at the Buffalo Bills. I think we're both in agreement. Both of us got the Bills, right?
Bills.
Bills. We'll skip right on to
Bills.
the last 12 o'clock game of the day. We got the Cleveland Browns with a very impressive win against the shitty Green Bay Packers. Blocking a field goal to win the game, which honestly was probably upset of the week. I didn't
For
think they had a
sure.
chance. And honestly, that Packers offense was looking very, very rough. They are going to Detroit. I got the Lions, though. I think we're in agreement.
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit here. I think Cleveland, to their credit, I think their defense is very legit with Myles Garrett, with the number one or their first round pick, Mason Graham.
Yeah.
Their defense is legit. Denzel Ward, they've got studs all over the defensive side of the ball. The question is always their offense. This is whether they're going to show up that week or not. Last week they didn't against Green Bay, and they still found a way to pull out a win. So I give Cleveland a little bit of credit, but I'm taking Detroit here.
Fair. All right, next up, we got a starter for our afternoon games. Our 3 o'clock game in San Francisco. We got the Jags against the Niners. Purdy's still going to be out, and it's the Mac Jones show. Will he go 2-0? We'll see. Will he go 3-0? I should say they're 3-0. The Jags are 2-1. I'm gonna get the Niners. The Niners are at home. Mac Jones is being able to move the ball pretty decently. Brandon Ayuk, though, it sounds like he's not really gonna have. He's still struggling with that injury. I think it's the ACL or ACL or Achilles. And they said there's no timetable with him to return, which is a scare because they don't really have too much weapons offensively. Even though Ricky Pearsall had a really, really good week last week, I think they could carry it over. You know me, I'm just not a Jags believer yet. Let me go with the Niners.
See, okay, Brock Purdy is back this week, is what I'm
He is back this week?
So I'm seeing that he's practicing and that they're looking to have him play on Sunday. This is so tough. You know, Ethan, you know how I got into a huge deficit last year?
There's games like this.
Fucking Jaguars. It was literally games like this where I think, oh, the Jags can pull this out. I'll give Trevor Lawrence a little credit. He could get a win against a very injured San Francisco defense. Do I really think
I do it? I think you're gonna do it again. I think you're about to do it again.
I'm gonna fucking do it again. I'm taking the Jags. Shit, bro. I can't wait till week 5 and I come back in here and I can either rub it in your face, that these picks are working out for me, or sit here and cry live on this podcast because I can't. I don't know how many times I can take picking the Jags and losing again. Oh man, I do it to myself though. I shouldn't pick the Jags, but
I'm dead as fuck. Yeah, thank you for this. I needed this. Let me get extra dub right here. Next game we got the Colts at the Rams, which I think could provide fireworks this week. And I think this one's gonna be a tough one because Indiana Jones has been balling. The Colts are sitting at 3-0. They have been hooping. They are gonna go to SoFi, which just doesn't have the best home field advantage. I think it's gonna be closer than people think. But I'm gonna go I've been picking a lot of favorites so far. I don't think I picked one upset. Maybe the Vikings was an upset. Fuck, I'm gonna see the Colts go 4-0. I'm gonna see the Colts go 4-0. I got the Colts over the Rams.
Okay.
I'm taking the Rams. Some supposed to fix last week against Philly.
Okay, I like it. I think the Rams are going to win here. I think they need to bounce back after that loss to Philly, and they give Indy their first loss of the season. But I think this is going to be an awesome game. I think this might be one of the best games of the week with the way the Colts are playing. And you know how I feel about the Rams. I think they're a great team too. So,
bet that. And then another 3 o'clock game. We got the Bears at the Raiders. Bears coming off a really big win against the Cowboys. The Raiders are really bad loss. Another bad loss against the Jaden Daniel-less Commanders. Who you got, Gage?
Oh, this one's interesting. I think I'm taking the Raiders here.
I'm going to double it with you. Raiders have been burning me a lot this year, especially the last 2 games. But I think they can improve. I think they can improve. I think when you get to play a team like the Bears, they're going to be able to, at home, they're going to have a pass rush. I think you're just going to have to really lean on Ashton Shinty. Like, finally, Gino's going to have to clean up with the turnovers. Let me go with the Raiders. I think they win this game at home.
I hope so.
Next up, we got our last afternoon game. We got the Ravens at the Chiefs. Ravens coming off a brutal loss to the Lions, in which Derrick Henry has another fumble, and that defense continues to be soft as Charmin. And the Chiefs we do have Xavier Worthy coming back this week.
Okay. Your team doesn't play till later that night, buddy.
Nope, that's my team. We had a tough win against the Giants, which I'll take. I think the Ravens bounce back. I still don't think that Chiefs defense is doing a lot to me. That offense, I think Worthy's going to help them a lot. It's going to help them a lot as far as not having to rely on Kelsey's old ass and Tyquan Thornton, who did have an okay game against the Giants, but it's the Giants. So
yeah,
I think the Ravens they need a big win because they can't go 1-3. The Ravens absolutely cannot go 1-3. The division isn't that great, but as far as like getting a good playoff seed, they're in the risk of not being able to get a wild card, which is kind of looking like right now.
Yeah, I think it would just be, I don't know.
Well, same thing for the Chiefs though, because if they do this, they're going to go a couple more games behind the Chargers, who might go 4-0 to start the year.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I don't know if the Chiefs are in any position to start 1-3 either. So this is a really important game for both these teams. And if I'm going off of what team has looked better, I'm going to take Baltimore. They're playing in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is the boogeyman.
He is the boogeyman, though. That's my thing. We always get one up on the Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens. I'm putting my faith in Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry, do not fumble. You got this, dude. You can have the best fucking game of your life in Arrowhead. Just hold on to the football. And we got it, man. We got it. It's going to be a Ravens win. That's what I'm hoping.
I think so, okay. I think so, too. Next up, we have our Sunday night football matchup. We got Michael Parsons returning to Dallas to face the Cowboys on prime time. Both these teams coming off of really bad losses. Cowboys probably should have beat the Bears, got the doors blown off of them. Packers definitely should have beat the Browns. Offense couldn't move the ball at all. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. The Packers are going to have Jaden Reed. They're missing a lot of offensive linemen. But on the other side, if I'm the Cowboys, you're missing probably your best player on offense, your best skill player, and CeeDee Lamb, a top 3 receiver in football, who's going to be out a couple weeks with a high ankle sprain. This is a week, if I'm a Cowboys fan, you want to see if George Pickens get his money. These next few weeks until CeeDee Lamb comes back is going to determine a lot about how much money George Pickens is going to make, because he had that really bad drop that turned into an interception last week against the Bears. And I'm pretty sure he was on the sideline smashing his helmet, rightfully so, because that's a bad drop to have. And the Cowboys are supposed to be having Deron Bland back and Jadeveon Clowney. So the defense, I don't think, is going to be as bad against the Packers. But I say that to say the Packers are always the Cowboys boogeyman. Cowboys are missing Tyler Booker, the rookie first round right guard. He's going to be out. I think the Packers are going to win. I think it's going to be a single score game, though. I know we don't do score predictions, but I think it'll be like 28. I think it'll be 28-22.
All right.
Maybe a little lower score. Maybe 24-15, 24-15, 24-16, whatever it is.
I think that's fair. I'm definitely taking the Packers here. Obviously, Micah coming back to Dallas. There's a lot of storylines here, and I'm just excited to see it play out, man. So I'll let my boys in Green Bay do the talking and let Micah do the talking in Dallas, as the Packers will win for my prediction of the week.
I think Packers win too. I just think Micah's going to have a decent game. I think the only shot the Cowboys have is if Dak's going to have to continue being a superhero like he has been the last 3 weeks. You're going to have to hope. If I'm a Cowboys fan, hopefully the defense makes turnovers. I don't think it will. Jordan Love takes care of the football pretty decently. I think Cowboys' success. The only thing with y'all is y'all have not been able to run the ball at all this year. And the only thing the Cowboys are doing somewhat good on defense is stopping the run. So I don't see that continuing. Like maybe Jadeveon Clowney makes it a superhero effect on the defense side of the ball to give Dallas more possessions. But I think not having CD there, I think the Cowboys will be able to run the football pretty decently. I just don't know if wide receiver wise, Pickens, Tolbert, Ferguson, because Kavontae Turpin are going to be enough to score enough points. If CD was there, it'd be another thing. But I just don't think they're going to be able to move the ball that much on that defense. Throwing one.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to be pretty invested in this team for not being a fan of
I've been doing great breakdowns the entire time about every single team, so please don't start this.
No, I mean, yeah, for sure, bro. I want to give you your flowers, but that was
I just gassed the Packers up. Am I a Packers fan now too? Because I gassed up how well y'all are defensively, how well Quay Walker and Adrian Cooper have been playing.
Okay, all right.
Am I a Packers fan?
Now your name.
I was bringing that up. Okay.
All right. Sorry, I just like to give you a little bit of a hard time, but all right, man. Well, we can get on to these Monday night stinkers, because I don't know about you. I'm looking at these Monday night games and I'm like, maybe I'll go catch a movie. Maybe I'll see what's going on Monday night.
Yeah, because these Monday night games are not great. We could probably speed run them. We got the Jets at the Dolphins. Give me the Jets. All right, give me the Jets. Give me the Dolphins. I think they kind of put up they did put up a really, really good fight against the Bills last week. Made the game close up until the end. I think they're going to do this. I just don't think the Jets are good. To be quite honest, they're playing at home. Give me the Dolphins.
Nah, I like the Jets. I like the Jets came back last week, and the way Aaron Glenn was celebrating on the sideline was enough to pump me up for the rest of the season.
I've been loving the compilations of Aaron Glenn and them.
Dude, the Aaron Glenn music, like adding songs to him dancing meme is fucking amazing.
Quality.
For that, I'm taking the Jets. I think the Dolphins are trash, and they have a lot to figure out. The Jets might be getting Justin Fields back this week too, so
Fair. Last but not least, our last Monday night game, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Denver Broncos. The Bengals trying to survive another week without Joe Burrow. They are sitting at 2-1 though, and the Broncos trying not to drop to 1-3. I think offensively they've been very, very disappointing this year so far. Bo Nix just has not played good at all. They have a lack of weapons overall offensively. RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins needs to start getting going a lot more, and I think this will be the game to do it. The Bengals don't have a good defense at all. You saw Jake Browning looking like a duck last week against the Vikings, and it's not going to change too much against another elite defense in Denver. So I'm going to go the Broncos.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I'm taking the Broncos here. Their defense is really fucking good, and the Bengals have injury at a position that's more important than anything in the sport. So especially when your guy is Joe Burrow, it just makes too big of a difference. So I'll take Denver.
And that will be it for AWR's NFL picks for week 4. Please follow us on Instagram, as you will be able to see our weekly records posted on there, as you'll see clips from the show, and follow us on TikTok too. You see us talk pretty daily about stuff from music to sports. Gage, thank you for another episode, brother man.
Hell yeah, hoping to keep that lead.
Yeah, enjoy while it lasts, because it ain't gonna last that much longer.
I beg to differ, but we'll see.
It's another episode of AWR Corn. You already know who it is. Darren Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton, my partner 007 Gage Sutton, and we'll catch y'all later. Peace, Gage.
Peace.